guys, this is Tweeze, the Sexy Grandma 2K, and I'm coming at you today with a quick tutorial. What I'm going to be showing today is how to tweeze your parts and add contour or concealer in order to give your unit a more natural look. So, if you want to see how I achieved the natural look on this beautiful unit and how I made this part look more natural, then keep watching. Okay guys, so the first thing I do is I just take a wig pin and I use that to part my hair out in order that I can kind of grab a small section and begin to start plucking the hair out. I generally will pull out about 1 to 2 pieces of hair at a time. So you really have to have the patience of Job to be able to pluck your part, because you can't take a big clunk and just pull it out, otherwise you rip your lace, and nobody wants that. Also, if you notice, I pluck my hair, I don't tweeze it. I have found when I use tweezers on soft lace, I generally will rip the lace. So I find it to be more beneficial as well as cost effective for me to pluck my units instead of tweeze them. But you can do it either way. So here I'm just taking my time and I'm just pulling out the hair piece by piece. And as you tug on the hair, you'll kind of feel, for lack of a better word, a little kind of crunch. And what that is you're pulling the hand-tied knot through the lace, which is why you want to take small pieces of hair, just 1 or 2 at a time, because that's what will rip the lace, is the knot on the other end. So as you can see, I do a small section and I just keep working my way towards the back of the unit, pulling 1 to 2 pieces of hair at a time. If I start tugging and I meet resistance when trying to pull the hair through, then that's kind of my indicator that I have too much hair that I'm pulling on. And I'll kind of, like I did there, and I'll kind of take my time and get less hair. So again, I'm just working my way towards the back of the hair in order to expand that part, or actually in order to widen the part. So another thing you want to be mindful of is when you're parting sections of the hair, and like I said, I use a wig pin. You can also use a rat tooth comb, that'll work just fine as well. But when you're parting the section, you want to make sure that you're not close to any of the weft on the wig, on the sides, because if you start plucking the hair by the weft and you make it too thin, then you're going to be able to see the weft there on the side of the part, and so you don't want that at all. So make sure when you're parting it that you're making sure the weft is covered up and taking hair a little further away from the weft in order to pluck it, if that makes sense to you. And as you can see, I'm still working towards the back of that part. Sometimes you can extend your part back a little deeper depending on how much hair they've put there in the parting space. So as you can see, that's looking really good. This is how much hair I actually plucked out of that part, which is quite a bit. I'm going to now take my contour powder in order to add to the lace on the part to give it a more natural look. Now for this, you can use your contour powder. You can use translucent powder if you have a color that's kind of close to your skin tone. You can use concealer as well. You can use powder concealer or cream. I find it a little easier to use the powder, but you definitely can use either or. There I was just kind of making it a little messier so that I can show you what to do if you get too much powder on your unit. You just take some of your mascara, any mascara will do, and you just kind of paint over where you put too much concealer or powder, and then it'll look that nice. And so as you can see, it's looking very nice. So now we're going to move on to cutting the lace. And what I generally do, I find it easier to put on a wig head when you're first starting to learn how to cut lace. I generally will pull the hair back out of the way of the lace so that you can clearly see the hairline on the unit. Then you want to cut, I cut my units very, very close to the knot because I like very little lace left on my units. So you close really close to the knot without cutting the knot. Because if you do cut on the knot, then what that's going to do is make your unit shed because you've actually cut some hair off of the unit. So just be mindful to cut close to the knots, but not on the knot. So after I get that lace cut off, I'll take the wig off the wig head, and then I'll look on the inside of the wig towards where the ear tabs are, and I'll trim that up better because you kind of got to go, as you can see, underneath to get that small little section off. Otherwise, when you pull your hair back behind your ear, it may show. So that's what it's looking like after I've cut the lace off the front of the unit. And here's what the parting space is looking like after I've added the concealer and done the plucking. Makes it look a lot more natural and opened up. So I'm back, and this is what Miss Nephra looks like on. I absolutely love her. What her parting space is looking like now. And I'm going to insert a before and after pic so you can kind of see the difference from how she started to how I ended up with her. But guys, she is gorgeous.